Last Tuesday, I had my cursor sitting on a line of code that looked like pure garbage, an old email to fax gateway, a little job that took a custom order off the website and faxed it, an actual fax, to whatever machine used to sit on the workshop floor. Custom wood panels, somebody orders one online. This thing faxes the cut sheet to the shop that builds it. A fax gateway in this decade. That is the dictionary definition of dead junk. I had the whole line selected. My finger was on the key and I stopped. I still can't tell you exactly why I stopped, but I followed the thread and here's what I found. It stopped working sometime. And I cannot tell you when. Could be last year, could be before anybody in that shop owned a smartphone. The fax on the other end went away, and this little job just kept quietly throwing orders into a hole, and nobody noticed. I came within one keystroke of deleting the only evidence that has been turning custom orders away for who knows how long. That's the part that keeps me up. Not that I almost broke it, that it was already broken, and I almost erased the proof.
This is Sights I've Never Seen, the show where Christopher walks me through the work almost nobody gets to watch, the inherited messes, the code nobody signed their name to, the nights he spends alone inside a stranger's decisions. I'm Francis. I run my own shop. I've never met a line item I didn't interrogate, and my job here is to make him show his work before he charges a soul for it. Christopher, you want to send a quote for a cleanup? From where I'm sitting, you nearly sent him a bill for demolition. Start me at the showroom.
Runs a lighting showroom. His father opened it in the 70s, took it over. Chandeliers, track lighting, the little lamp on your grandmother's hall table, real floor, real customers, real business. And for 11 years, one developer ran the website. One person who retired this spring and left. And no notes, no forwarding address, nothing but the logins he'd already handed over. So I opened the hood and it's
a haunted house.
Archaeology, 2-page templates that look identical, doing almost the same job, a plugin I've never heard of. No author name, nothing. There's one called, and I am not inventing this, Final V2. Activated, load bearing, for all I know.
Huh, that's every folder on my desktop.
Right? And the house keeps going. A folder of images nobody's linked to since, I actually checked, 2019. A contact form that fires off to 2 addresses and one of them bounces. 3 different paths to the same product page, depending on which link somebody clicked years ago. Every room I open, the last guy left the light on and walked out.
And it's all still running. Nobody's touched it. Nobody's paid a soul to touch it. And it just runs. Honestly, that's the part that'd make me nervous.
So my first instinct, and the honest one, the one I'm a little ashamed of now, was I'll quote him a cleanup, 2 weeks, strip it back to something clean, hand him a site I'd put my name on.
And what's the cleanup worth?
I hadn't gotten that far. In my head, it was just clean work. Take out what doesn't belong, keep what does.
See, that's the sentence that gives me a stomach ache. Take out what doesn't belong. You've been in that building a week, and you already know what belongs in a business you've never run.
That's the tension, though. The mess genuinely slows everything down. Every future change eats more of my day because I have to understand 2 templates instead of 1. So is the mess debt I strip out, or is it holding something up I can't see?
Before you delete one line of it, that fax gateway, who was on the other end, back when it still went through?
The workshop that cuts the panels, a custom order lands on the website, the gateway faxes the cut sheet, they build it. That was the whole loop, and I almost swept it out before I asked the question. I only found out it was dead because I stopped to look instead of deleting. The orders don't land anywhere now. They just stop at a machine that isn't there.
Right. And I've watched the version where nobody stops. I've got a client, a distributor, mid-sized, sells parts to trade shops. A couple years back, they did a tidy little rebuild. New site, everything neat. And there was this nightly export nobody could explain. A file that got generated every night. And as far as anyone in the room could tell, went nowhere. Redundant. So it got cleaned up. Cut in the name of tidy.
And it wasn't redundant.
It was the office manager's payroll input. Every night that file fed the commission numbers for the sales staff. And here's what she actually been doing with it all those years nobody thought to ask. Every morning, she'd open that file with her coffee. Before the phone started, run her finger down each rep's orders and key the commission totals into payroll by hand. That was the whole job. Quiet, dead reliable, never once late. Nobody on the rebuild ever asked her because she wasn't in the meeting. You don't invite the person whose work already works. 3 people got paid wrong for a month before anyone traced it back to the thing we deleted for being untidy.
A month.
A month. And you want to know how they finally caught it? Nothing flagged. No system caught it. A rep opened his check, saw it was light, and made noise. Then somebody had to sit and work backward for 2 days. From a short check, to a missing file, to a line in a rebuild ticket that said, and I'm quoting, "removed redundant export." Redundant, and the invoice for that isn't the fix. The fix took an afternoon. The bill is 3 employees who found out their own company couldn't get their pay right, and a payroll clerk who cried in the manager's office. You don't buy that back with an afternoon. It doesn't care what your code looks like, Chris. He's never gonna open it. He cares that the lighting keeps selling, and his people get their checks on Friday. Clean is your word. It was never his.
But let me push the other way because the drag is real too. That duplicate template, the mystery plugin, they slow every single thing I touch from here on. Every change I make, I'm working around code I don't
understand, right? Which is exactly my point. From the other side.
It is my point though. That drag doesn't go away because we're being careful about it. And let me make it real because drag sounds like a feeling and it isn't. Last week, ask me for the smallest thing, move the phone number up on the contact page above the fold, a 10-minute job. It ate most of an afternoon because there are 2 templates that both look like the contact page, and I had to work out which one actually renders when a customer lands there. And the answer was sometimes one, sometimes the other, depending on the link they followed. So I fixed it in the first template, tested it, and it was still wrong half the time. That duplicate isn't a feeling, it's a weight on every single thing asks me to change from here on.
All right, I'll take that seriously because there's a real cost sitting in there, and it isn't the afternoon. It's this. A change that turns into that much of a fight is a change stops asking for. He wants the phone number moved. It becomes a whole ordeal. So the next time he's got a small idea to make the place a little nicer for a customer, he just sits on it. Multiply that across a year, and the site quietly stops getting better. That's a number 2. It's a slow one, the kind nobody ever writes on an invoice, but it's real, and I'm not going to pretend you made it up.
Right, and it builds on itself. Every workaround I leave in makes the next change harder, and the one after that harder still. A year from now, I'm 3 templates deep instead of 2, and every small thing asks for is a bigger fight than the last one.
It's real, and I'll take that bet every day of the week. Because price the 2 mistakes against each other. Being wrong about the drag costs you a few slower afternoons this quarter. Being wrong about one workaround costs a missed sale or a wrong paycheck, or 3 people paid short for a month. One of those is an annoyance. The other one has a person's name on it. Your slow afternoons never outrun the payroll.
So before I touch anything, and I catch myself doing this now, I'm asking your question. The day this line is gone, who's the person who notices, and what are they holding in their hands when they do?
Careful, Chris. You'll put me out of a job. Now, finish the sentence.
The day that fax gateway is gone, the person who notices is, and this is the part that got me, nobody. Nobody notices. The person who should is a customer who ordered a custom panel and never heard back. What that costs past that, no, let me back up. Costs isn't even my word. I can find the wire. I can't read the number on the end of it. That part's still yours.
It's every custom order that quietly walked, and you'll never get a bill for those because they never became invoices. The customer just called whoever came up next, and you never knew they were there. That's the worst kind, Chris. It doesn't show up as a number. It shows up as a number that was never there. And I'll say the quiet part. 2 months ago, I was the one telling you a Saturday could wait, and you fought me down to the studs. Now, you're running the count before I can get my mouth open. Doesn't mean you're right about the cleanup yet. Just means you finally learned to stall.
And I want to say something about the person who built all of this, because it would be easy to make him the villain. He isn't. Every weird thing in there was a decision that made sense to somebody under a constraint I can't see anymore. The duplicate template, I'll bet there was a reason once. I just don't have the reason yet.
The fax gateways, the proof of that. Think about when he built it. The shop floor had one machine that took orders and it went beep. No budget to put a computer next to the saw. No clean way to get a web order into a fabricator's hands. So he bridges it. The website drops the order onto their fax, and it shows up right where the work happens. That's not garbage. That's the cleverest thing going for its day.
And it worked. For years, it just worked. That's the part that guts me. It ran right up until it didn't. And by the time it went quiet, he was long gone and there was nobody left who even knew to check.
Built to run without him, that's the whole job. The fact that it eventually went dark isn't on him. He'd been gone for years. I'd still have hired him.
I keep coming back to the fact that I almost didn't stop.
But you did. And for what it's worth, I don't hand these out. Most people don't stop. They're already congratulating themselves on the tidy before they've asked who's living in the house. You stopped with your finger on the key. That's the whole job, Chris. That's not nothing.
So, what do you do with a whole site full of things you can't explain yet?
You stop calling it a website. That's the mistake baked right into the word cleanup. It treats the thing as code. It isn't code. You didn't inherit a website, Chris. You inherited every promise other people are quietly relying on that site to keep. The commission run. The order that still comes in through a link somebody bookmarked in 2019. The report that lands on a desk every Monday morning. You bought all of it the day you took the login. Somebody's ugly workaround is somebody else's payroll.
Say that again.
Somebody's ugly workaround is somebody else's payroll. The ugliness is yours to look at. The payroll belongs to a person who never sees the code and cannot afford for you to be wrong about it.
So here's what I actually did at As instead of the quote. I built a map. One page, every weird thing gets the fax gateway, the duplicate template, the plugin with no name, and next to each one I finish a sentence I can't fake. The day this is gone, the person who notices is blank, and they notice when blank. If I can fill both blanks, I know what I'm holding. If I can't, I don't cut. I go find out first.
Walk me through one. Because from here, it sounds like a worksheet, and I don't buy a worksheet.
Fair. Take the duplicate template near Yandodo, or Paudotoru. 10%, the one that cost me the afternoon. On the map, it starts as a blank. The day this is gone, who notices and when? And I could not answer it from the code. Two templates, near identical, side by side, and reading them told me nothing. They both looked deletable.
So how'd you fill it?
3 ways, none of them clever. First, I asked his counterstaff, whoever picks up the phone, who actually uses the contact page. And I got shrugs because nobody thinks about the page that works, and which felt like nothing, but it was worth knowing. It meant nobody would notice on the day I broke it. That's the trap right there. Then I watched the logs, the real server records of which template renders when a live person loads that page. And for weeks, it was the same one. Every single time, the same template. I very nearly cut the other one on the spot. But I looked at when the log went quiet and I waited. And the one stretch that second template woke up was the week of the spring lighting sale. There's a seasonal promotion page, the big banner, the discount event he runs twice a year, and it renders through the second template, only the second one. So 11 months out of 12, it looks like dead weight, and then twice a year, it's the page his entire sale runs through.
So that didn't land in cut.
That landed in keep with a note, sort of, Don't touch this until you've watched a full year go by. If I'd trusted the first look, the side-by-side, the quiet log, I'd have deleted it in week 1 and been very proud of the tidy.
And found out in the spring from, on the 1 week, his sale carries the quarter. That's the version where your cleanup cuts his best week off at the knees.
That's the version. That's the whole reason the exists.
And how many could you not fill in?
Out of maybe 14, six things I could not tell you what they were load-bearing for, which 2 months ago I'd have called garbage and swept out on day 1.
Okay, now I'm going to concede something, and I want you to notice I'm not conceding the instinct, because the same eye that wanted to bulldoze the place is the eye that found the one thing that actually did have to go that day. Tell them what the coupon was.
There was an old discount code, a test coupon from years back, never taken down, still live, long forgotten, but any order that came in through one particular old link, an email from years ago, a page still sitting in somebody's cache, it's silently applied, 15% off, no questions asked. No.
15% off real orders, quietly. Call it a few $100s a month, walking straight out the door every month for who knows how long. And here's my confession. I'd have left it. It's live, it's working, don't touch it. That's my whole religion. You'd have flagged it, and I'd have told you to put it down. So I'm not conceding my instinct. Leave the working thing alone is still right most days. What I'm conceding is the order. Map first, then cut. But the cutting eye, the one that spots a live coupon bleeding margin while everybody else is admiring the tidy, that's the thing that never fits in a. That's why you pay a person and not a worksheet.
And that's the part the map can't do. The map lists the weird things I can see. It can't tell me which blank I filled in is a lie. That the fax gateway's been dead for years and nobody saw that the coupon's live and lying. Reading the invisible wire between a line of code and a person's Friday, the map doesn't do that. That's the part I didn't understand walking in. And underneath all of it is the part I actually got wrong. I'd been reading all that mess as disrespect for the craft. Like the site was a junk drawer somebody dumped on me, and my job was to be offended by it and empty it out. It's not a junk drawer. Every ugly line in there is a decision somebody made on a real day for a real reason, to keep a real promise. The site wasn't a dumpster, it was a diary. And you don't strip a diary for parts, you read it first.
And here's what it was worth, in my language. Walking in had 2 options, and both of them were expensive. Touch nothing, and keep bleeding 15% off every stray order, forever, or replace everything, and pay to break the 6 things quietly holding his business up. Both of those are bills with no ceiling on them. What the map did, the boring 1-page map, is turn both of those into a list with prices next to it. This we cut Tuesday. This we leave alone. This we go ask the office manager about before anybody breathes on it. That's not craft to me, Chris. That's the most expensive decision owns, turned into a number he can actually read.
I keep thinking about that fax gateway. Somebody built it years ago to solve one small problem, get a custom order off a website and onto a workshop floor. And it did that quietly for a long time, and then it died just as quietly, and nobody was watching the day it went. It looked like garbage to me. I almost erased the only proof it ever mattered. I know every one of you has one of these. Some ugly, undocumented thing, and you cannot tell from the outside whether it's holding the floor up or whether the floor already fell through. Send me the weirdest one you found. The thing that looked like junk and turned out to be load-bearing, or the thing everyone tiptoed around that had quietly stopped working years ago. I collect them now. This is sites I've never seen. Glad you were here.